Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 video games.
There you go.
It's just, all of them I've made worse and worse and worse as it's gone on. I'm Alex O'Neill. Joining me today is Brendan Williams.
How's it going?
In my house.
Yes.
You're a
In the
special
flesh.
guest.
Oh, am I the only one that gets to come to the house?
Yeah.
Is it because I'm so awesome? It has nothing to do with the fact that I live within driving distance.
Yeah, whatever you say. And we're gonna be going through your top 10 video games of 2016.
Yep.
So I'm excited because we always have this one was a lot of fun last year.
It was.
And we get to do it in person, so that's more fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully it sounds all right. It's going to sound a little bit different than the others, but that's fine. People get it.
Yeah. They know.
And
It will be entertaining.
They can stop complaining to me on Twitter about it. For people who don't know, where can they find you on the internet? Nowhere.
Yeah, I guess not.
You used to do video for RationalPassions.com.
Yeah, long time ago. We were going to do a show.
Yeah. We recorded episodes of the show. There are two episodes out of the show.
Yeah, and there's one and three unfinished ones.
Yeah.
I have one finished one and three parts of episodes.
Yeah.
Just sitting away.
You should just do a highlight reel of it.
Yeah, I should. That would be good.
Was the audio alright?
The audio's fine. It's the camera that was bad. Because what I learned was I can't be on camera and film at the same time.
Weird.
Just doesn't work. Hence why I need to get a camera that doesn't overheat.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was worried about that when you were coming. I'm like, we're going to have to do that thing where Brendan gets up every 14 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't make it this time.
Yeah, but this is fine. I mean, it's frustrating because, after you shoot, when I do my video, it's stationary, thank God.
Right.
But, then I'll see, my shadow is in the bottom right corner the whole time, and it's worse when it's a green screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Luckily, the green screen in Final Cut Pro that I use is, the keying effect is really good. So,
yeah.
even if it's, the shadow bounces back and forth a little bit, it's fine. So, it gets the idea.
Yeah, you know what you're doing.
That's why you just gotta shoot stationary stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You have too much fun with the angles.
That's my problem too, and it's the same problem when I do little shows that were just at work or something. When I was no, this has to look really good.
Yeah.
And I was we're gonna get 3 cameras on this, and it's but we're just talking to one person. No, 3 cameras.
No. But I mean, I would love it. Listen, there is a different format.
I know you get it.
Yeah,
I know you get it because you have that same drive that I do. Where it's got to be perfect.
It's got to be great, and you have this idea. I don't know if you've ever watched Satchel Drake's videos.
No, I've never heard of Satchel Drake.
He does these great visual essays on video games. He did one about Kanye West and Hotline Miami.
Interesting.
It's incredible. You should watch it.
I will now.
I'll see if I can link it to you at some point. And he case study, the new format for Alex Talks that's coming out soon, is based on his show case study.
Okay.
That's kind of partly where I got the name from it. Mine's a little different, but he has this thing where he's sitting in his shooting room, which is at the bottom of the stairs, this oak stair, and he's got these nice frames in the background. And it's a head-on shot of him, and then he'll cut to a second camera that is off to the side, so it's one camera's looking at him, and then the other camera's looking at him from the an angle.
Yeah.
And you can it's higher, so you kind of see down the stairs behind him.
Okay.
Which adds this cool perspective.
Yeah.
And then he has text pop out behind his.
That's awesome.
Actual body, across the wall that's above the stairwell.
That's really cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I won't go into a whole thing on it because I have my opinions on the way YouTube is filmed and all this stuff. But that's my biggest complaint is that it is put a camera up and I'm gonna talk at it and I'm gonna jump cut because it's easier. It's everyone does that.
But Alex Talks is good.
Everyone does that. Alex Talks is good. I still think you do something different with it. Your backgrounds reflect what's going on. I don't know. It's just the people who just get up and just talk. It's
just do the straight vlog.
There's another 1,000 of those to go and watch. And I get that the content can make it different, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I like the creative side of it more than the content side of it. So it's frustrating for me. But
yeah.
That's
a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other thing. We're talking about video games.
Video games.
So I'm gonna do my honorable mentions.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna run through these really quick. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
That game's alright, right?
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it is not a great game. It's not a bad game, but it's not a great game. But like,
great.
it scratches.
It's a Dragon Ball game.
It scratches for Dragon Ball game. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
It scratches the nostalgia itch because there's so much stuff in there that's like, oh man, I remember that.
What does that encompass? Like what arcs?
It does like pretty much everything that I remember.
Any Dragon Ball?
No, which is still my greatest disappointment.
Yeah.
Like,
It needs to be a good Dragon Ball game.
I've always thought that Dragon Ball would be prime for a 2D fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, really embrace the, like, because it was the gag, like, attacks and stuff like that, like, would make for a great, like, just traditional 2D fighting game. Like, I would love to see that, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah, no. Never. It's not
So, yeah.
popular enough.
I don't know. I had fun with the game. It was a nice trip down memory lane.
Mm-hmm.
Twilight Princess HD,
Yeah.
which
It's
I
good.
would have put on the list, but I'm not. I'm doing new games.
Okay.
I didn't like Twilight Princess until I played that.
Really?
Yeah, I've beaten it twice.
But did you play the Wii version?
Yeah, I played the Wii
So
version.
there we go.
And yeah, and there was always. I remember playing it the first time, and I'm like, "There's something off about this." Like, it always felt wrong to me.
Yeah.
Where things were on the map felt like never in like the actual like levels and like stuff like that, but like the map itself. I was always like, it just felt off, and I know it was mirrored like after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to play my friend's GameCube version, and I couldn't do it because it was mirrored and it just felt weird. But like enough time had passed that I didn't remember where things were.
Yeah, that's where I was at with it because I only played about half of that this year, and I like Twilight Princess. Like when I went,
it wasn't bad. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was a terrible game, but it was way down on my like.
Oh, for
level
sure.
list.
I mean, it doesn't do anything like necessarily unique.
Yeah.
Which it's good though. It's like a consistent level of quality. But when I replayed through it for Alex Plays Zelda, the ancient YouTube series that you can watch still, I was like, man, this game's actually alright. This is like, it's cool and it's dark in a way that Zelda games have never been before, and it's engaging because of that.
Yeah, and that was how I felt about it. I was like, because I have like a friend that's his favorite Zelda game, and I'm like, I understand now where you're.
I mean,
coming
that's
from.
crazy.
Like
I
get it. Like
Okay.
I do get like the argument for that. Like because it was like Ocarina of Time, but like bigger and like, everything.
To me, it's like that. It can't be that because I played Ocarina, and it's just it's too much of that.
Yeah, and I still think Ocarina is a better game, but
Yeah.
like, it was just like, okay, I get this now. Like this is working for
It's
me.
cool.
This
It's
is
a cool video game.
And then my other one is Dragon Age Inquisition
Okay.
because I never played that until this year. I never played any Dragon Age.
2014 Game of the Year apparently.
Never played any Dragon Age games until this year. Bought Inquisition when it was on sale once, and just
let it sit.
it didn't click like when I was first playing it, and then my buddy got it, and I was like, I'll play at the same time as him. Like maybe this will work for me. And I got over the hump that I couldn't get past.
Was that to like the main base that you got to?
Yeah.
Would you call that the home?
And then it clicked, and I dumped 80 hours into that game.
Nice.
Like I was doing everything I possibly could. Like it was like I would just come home from work and play whatever like little part that I was gonna play, but like just go out and like do little bits. And I was like, this is all like the story part. I was like, you know, it's fine. The ending is cool.
I haven't beaten it.
The ending is cool.
Do you know what happened to me with that game? Like the lineage.
I don't.
I mean, I talked about it in one of the Alex talks, where like I got to this essentially game breaking bug.
Yes. No. I do remember that one now. Yeah.
So
that is unfortunate.
It was like I couldn't progress, right? And I gave it another shot too.
Yeah.
Like I restarted the game, started a whole new character, different name character, different looking character. I tried to I'm like, I have to get away from this toxic playthrough that I had.
Yeah.
I tried and tried.
No, you can't.
And it was like, it's like
can't.
that was my first and the impression that's always gonna stick with me forever.
That was Skyrim for me.
Yeah.
Skyrim had the exact. I played on PS3, game breaking bug.
Yeah.
Like
You could have just stopped it. I played it on PS3, and I would have been like, no, I get it.
but I went back and I was like, I don't want to redo any of the stuff I had to do. And I wasn't super far in, but I was far enough in.
And I got like further, and I guess like Dragon Age Inquisition spoilers. And I don't even know if like this comes back around.
Yeah.
To the end, but like when Hawk sacrificed herself in my game.
Yeah, didn't happen in mine.
I was like, I'm out. Like this is my favorite character in the universe, and like this is what she would have done.
Yeah.
Especially like my Hawk. But I'm done. Like,
yeah.
That's it.
No, and I get that, but like I don't know. For me, it was again. I had a lot of fun playing that game this year, and that's primarily what this list is. Like my thing with this is that I have fun with this game this year. So Undertale's my other one.
Yeah.
Because we talked about
it
like,
on our Game of the Year episode last year.
Yeah, like right after I finally like went and played it, and I was like, this would have been my Game of the Year had I beaten it beforehand. I mean, it's brilliant.
It's
like,
a brilliant.
And it is a game that is a game like, and it's all its storytelling is through the game.
Yeah,
like everything that happens is through the game.
Mechanical storytelling at like some of its finest.
Yeah, absolutely. So like even just. I mean, the stuff that goes on with the endings and all like the things you can find and like the way it loops into itself. Like it's. I don't want to spoil it. Just
because like if you
in
haven't
case
played
you
that,
haven't, like
it's so worth it.
Like it's short. It's so short to play through the game.
Like if you commit to like just doing pacifist, like if you want to do pacifist, right? And if you do it all in the first playthrough, you can go back and like after you beat it, like you don't have to restart it over again. Like I know a lot of people.
Yeah, that was what I did.
Yeah, that's what I did as well. Yeah. And you can go back and do the extra stuff that you can only do after you've beaten it. And yeah, man, it's just like that ending hits home.
Yeah, so that was really good. That definitely would have made number one last year. But this year's list.
All right.
So my criteria when I was making this list it's like
your arbitrary rules that you brought to your own list.
It's like these were like cool games I played this year.
Okay.
Like these were the ones I thought were like,
in a very specific order.
Like they're in an order for sure, but like these are like the like games I either had the most fun with or like my favorite games.
Yeah, like that's a lot of people throw around like these are my favorite games in order for me.
Right. And like I mean, I will say like some of them I didn't beat. Like, but like, and some of them I didn't spend as much time with, like, as I wanted to, but, you know, things get in the way, but like, they connected with me on some level. I'm like, this is doing something cool, and I really, really like what's going on with this, and they connected with me. So that was kind of my criteria. It was like, what did I remember from this year more than anything else? So number 10 is Enter the Gungeon.
Oh, okay.
I
played this game.
Yeah, I was kind of like tricked into buying. Because my buddy was like, "Hey, we should play a co-op game. Like, I want to play this Gungeon game." I had and it was purely on a whim. Yeah, like, I think we were playing Broforce. Okay. And he was like, "This isn't really clicking for me that much. I should put Broforce on here. That game was awesome."
So I've had one person put Broforce on their list.
That wouldn't be on the list, but honorable mention. I had a lot of fun with Broforce. That was a cool game. But yeah, he was like, "We need a co-op game." And so it said co-op like somewhere in there, so we got and not realizing that it was not online co-op.
Okay. It's local only, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah. But I'm not a big fan of roguelikes, generally speaking.
Spelunky does nothing for you?
I've never played Spelunky.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've never played Spelunky.
Cornucopia right there.
So like generally those types, but like that one was working for me. I'm not very good at it, so I didn't beat it. Like I didn't beat it. I don't like my friend like hardcore committed to it and got through the whole thing. Was doing all this. I didn't. I played it for fun, and it was like I was just progressing through it as much as I could. But like I loved the changing boss fights. I thought the boss fights were really fun. Like I liked the sense of progression. Like the weapons were awesome. And like I liked the twitchiness of the gameplay, and I think that was what made me keep going back to it as much as I did. Like despite the fact that I clearly wasn't good at the game, I kept playing it. Because I just had fun playing it. Like, the gameplay was just so solid for me playing it where, like, you know, like, the shooting mechanics and, like, the being able to, like, take cover and, like, dodging underneath stuff
like,
and everything.
The bullet thing with the armor or whatever, like, that you could, like, do to disperse all the bullets always felt really good.
Yeah, it did. And then the characters, too, like, all felt really distinct. Like, I very much like made different decisions depending on what character I was playing, and it was nice that they weren't just skins, like that they drastically did affect the way you were playing the game. So that was like I guess the first roguelike that I like genuinely enjoyed. So that was why it was number 10.
Yeah, it's cool. That's a cool game. It like I didn't get into the mystery, like the part of the roguelikes with me is like mystery. The driving force of like what the hell is going on and finding all these dumb secrets. I didn't get into it as much. I think it spans from I'm so bad at twin stick shooters.
Right, I'm not great either.
Yeah.
Like I am not like, but I don't know. The gameplay was because I'm like the mystery of it. I was like whatever. I don't care. Like they're trying to tell me the story. Like
I got a little bit more into Nuclear Throne, which was technically it's essentially a very similar idea of twin stick shooter roguelike. but it's a lot faster paced.
Okay.
Like a lot less exploration per level. Like when you finish a level or kill all the enemies in a level, it like forces you into the next level. Essentially.
Okay.
And it's like just like it's throwing new guns at you constantly, and everything is exploding around you. And the sessions were a lot shorter, but that was kind of like the one I got into a little bit more.
Number 9.
Yes.
This is another game that I didn't beat. Actually didn't get to spend nearly as much time with it as I wanted to. But again, I like really scratched an itch for me, and I Am Setsuna.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get nearly as far into as I wanted to, but like
I didn't play, and I wanted to a lot.
I started playing it, and I was just like, yeah, this is like it totally took me back to like the PS1 days, which is exactly what I was supposed to do with those like JRPGs. But unlike other games I've attempted to go back to, like Final Fantasy IX, or like other stuff from that era, like it was modern enough, and it felt just like enough new going on that it like I was like, no, I want to keep playing this. Like this is a VR character, I mean, this still feels new. Music was really cool in that game. It's like all piano.
It's all piano, yeah.
And it's all like that classic catchy like music that you remember from it, but it's all just piano. So like it has this weird melancholic like tension going on with it, where like you're like, this could sound really like happy like and like everything, but like it's not, because it was really cool. The way they did that. I mean, and it's very much that kind of game. Like it's the same kind of characters that you're expecting. The archetypes are all in there, but they're executed well.
Yeah.
And it's been so long since we've seen them that it's like, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's like, it's done in a way that's familiar, without being lame or anything like that. I thought the combat system was really cool in it. Like the way it brought back like kind of the dual text from Chrono Trigger, which
totally.
Like thank God someone finally thought to like do that again.
Like the cross slash is straight up in that game.
Yeah. Like and like even like just like the individual text in the way like how you can like buy spells and equip on different people, which kind of reminded me of the materia system and everything. Like everything was clicking for me with that game. It was purely a like, because I thought it was like going to be a kind of like a South Park like RPG, like a shorter one. And then it was like, no, this is like legit. This is like a whole like
the full thing.
Like big thing. So like I just ran out of time to finish playing it because like work started up like, and it was just like
it did come at a good time, just a little bit too late. Because it was like August.
Right. So I had enough time to start playing it, but not enough to like genuinely finish it.
Yeah. I'm sad because when I played the demo of that at PAX, I was so in.
Yeah.
They let me use headphones so I could hear all that piano music. I'm like, yes, the snow, the text. Right. Even if that game is apparently like all snow, which I'm sure would get like old.
I mean, from what I played of it, I wasn't getting tired of it, like, because it was just part of, like, you get, like, okay, this is the world that I'm living in, like, and I was okay with it because I felt like I hadn't seen someone just embrace, like winter,
a theme,
like an aspect of, like,
especially, like, a JRPG like that.
Right. So that didn't bother me much at all. Granted, I didn't play the full, like, length of the game, but, like, I played a fair bit of it. But yeah, I don't know. It was a special, like it was definitely a special experience. One I want to still go back to it.
Yeah, I having not played it, I'm very excited to see like what Tokyo RPG Factory has like this, like small, we're gonna crunch these out studio. Gets up to next.
Yeah, and like I mean, I don't think this was like as good as like a Chrono Trigger or other games from there, but like, but you can see where it's like, man, like they keep doing this. Like they could really hit that level of it. Yeah. So it was really cool. It's like a first foray. It was
that's like a multi-studio. Like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for them.
So yeah, that was number 9. 8. Number 8, Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Which was a total surprise, complete surprise.
Were you a Ratchet and Clank fan before?
No.
Is like most people that I've talked to about.
I'll say caveat on that. I have played the PS3 ones.
Okay, so the future.
I did not grow up.
Okay,
like as I
those are the superior ones in general.
Yeah, I did not play any of the PS2 games.
Didn't play Deadlocked?
No. I don't even know what that is, honestly.
That's the 4th one.
Oh, yeah.
Ratchet Deadlocked.
I thought the 4th one was supposed to be a kart racer. Isn't that how that works?
No, only with Naughty Dog.
Only with Naughty Dog.
Except we got Uncharted 4 instead of Uncarded, which is bullshit. I'm sure we all
see.
agree.
Hey, we'll see. That's what I was expecting the DLC, the single player DLC
Yeah,
to be.
it's just Uncarded.
I was very disappointed about that.
Yeah, Ratchet Clank is cool. Most people that have had it on their list, it was like their first Ratchet Clank.
Okay, which I can get, like, because it was a remake of the first one and everything. And I tried to play the first one, actually, because I had the collection on PS3.
That's a rough one to go back to.
Played through it and was like, I get why people like this.
The third one
I ended up selling the collection.
Yeah, the third one is where it's at.
Yeah.
Like, the third one is one of those games. Like, it mechanically doesn't feel dated.
Uh-huh.
And it's really impressive that it doesn't.
Yeah, and so I played all through Tools of Destruction. And then played through... did not play Quest of Booty at all. And then played through most of Crack in Time.
Oh, man.
But didn't finish it.
And it's great.
I've heard that this is the best one. Like, and I liked it, but again, it was just like I was like kind of running out of time.
So how does the new one stack up to those for you?
I mean, I would say that's the best one I played.
Okay.
Like, because the gameplay is like just so refined, and I mean, it just took everything that worked about them.
Yeah.
And made it perfect.
Yeah.
Like that game, and that was again the game played well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was because my thing with Tools of Destruction, I was like, this is fun. I like leveling up the weapons. Like the gameplay loop that's going on here is like I'm getting rewarded for playing the way I want to play.
Yeah.
So the more I use this weapon, the better it gets.
Yeah. And all the while you're going up levels as well.
Right.
You know.
And like, but I never got like super into like the collectibles and stuff. But like for some reason, this one I did.
Yeah.
I didn't get everything, but I was chasing after like all the golden pieces, and like this is the first game I got the Rhino in. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, I was like going after stuff as much as I could.
Did you do the New Game Plus stuff and all that?
I started doing it. I didn't finish it, but like again, which is like I had so much fun playing it. I was like, yeah, I'll play through this again.
Yeah.
Like it feels so good, and it was like that. It was like this feels like a video game.
Yeah, it is a video game ass video game.
Yeah, like I mean, like and the changes they made to the story were fine. Because some of it, like, I did remember from when I played through the first the parts of it I did. But, like, yeah, having the Dr. Nefarious, like, in that was, like, cool.
Yeah, like, it was, like, Drax was not, like, a great villain.
Yeah.
But he was, like, one at the time, in, like, 2003 or whenever that first game came out, he was, like, a PS2 action platformer villain, right?
Yep.
And, like, Nefarious, when they hit home, like, Nefarious wasn't until the third game. And he was great immediately. So, like, incorporating him and, like, making this kind of, like, a nefarious origin story as well as it is.
And it was a cool origin story.
Yeah, like, you know, him being in his, like, humanoid form.
Right, yeah.
And, like...
Which I never thought about. Like, ever.
That's, like, there's a flashback to that in, like, the third one.
Okay.
Because Quark was the one that, in the original trilogy, Quark was the one that messed him up and made him a robot.
Gotcha.
So, like, having, like, this be Ratchet Clank reboot, and now, like, Nefarious can be, like, the villain of the whatever trilogy or arc they're going to make with this new iteration going forward as a robot, as, like, the classic Nefarious. Is cool. Like, everything awesome. Made sense, and they made a lot of smart decisions, and, like, them diverging right at the end and, like, setting up a new trilogy is really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I, like, $40 for that game, like, that's, like, because, again, it plays so... Well, like, it's just so smooth. Like, the controls feel so good. Anytime something goes wrong in that game, it's because of you. It's never because of what's going on. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, even, like, the camera was, like... I had no problems playing the game ever. Like, it was almost that, like, Nintendo Mario level of perfection with just the way
it's the closest, I think, like, an animated game like that has got.
Yeah, it's definitely the closest I've ever seen a Sony, like, property. Like, because, like, Sly and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Get to that. Even, like, a Sonic, even. Like, any other, like, platformer like that. I mean, God, it controls so well.
Yeah. It's nice because, like, that's such a triumph because, like, North Carolina studio, who, like, handed Ratchet & Clank after, like, Insomniac Prime moved on to whatever they moved on to, like
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
And like they did Sunset. They moved away from Ratchet & Clank a while ago.
Yeah.
And like they the North Carolina studio fumbled so much, like the Full Frontal Assault and All for One, and apparently they hit it with Enter the Nexus, but like no one played that game.
No one cared at that point.
Yeah, because they burned them twice already. So it's so good to see them like hit it, like they got it finally. That means they can get it again. And like,
and they really got it. Yeah. And they made it for like what apparently was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I haven't
Which
seen it.
isn't no one saw it. I think it has like a 16% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
Like I mean,
I'm sure it's not that bad, but like
it was. Based on the cutscenes that were included in the game, I would expect it is that bad because the game is fun because the game is fun.
Yeah.
Like the story like works when the game part's included in it,
Yeah.
but like I can imagine watching that and being like
Yeah,
remotely
probably-
entertained if
pacing
you're
would
over
probably
the
be
age of 4.
terrible.
Right,
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
just another example.
I want to see it.
Just another example of why video game movies clearly don't work. The game was better. The game was hilariously better. The
Yeah.
movie tie-in game was way better than the movie itself. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Sony sent that movie out to die too. So like,
Yeah, that's
I don't want to entirely blame it on the quality of the movie, having not seen it, like because it wasn't marketed well at all.
Yeah.
Like they have a Sly movie coming out too. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, there's a trailer for that movie.
I know.
Like
And that movie looks so weird.
it's just like Square with 15. They went all in.
Oh yeah,
Here's your anime show. Here's your movie. Like here's all your tie-ins.
and it's like in your face constantly.
right. Like this is a thing.
Yeah.
Like Ratchet and Clank was
Got
like
talked about for about a week,
it was like there's a movie coming out.
and it's out.
Oh okay.
And
And
like
that
it's
was
weird because like the game should have been like the biggest advertisement for the movie,
Mhm.
but I was just like it doesn't really address the fact that it's also a
Well,
movie.
The problem was because I kind of wanted to see the movie too. Like
Yeah.
I like animation. Like I like movies. Period. I like
Yeah.
kind of watch the
We're
industry.
doing a movie podcast after this
Yes,
because
it'd
of
be
that.
awesome. But like, man, it was just like, why would I see the movie when I just played the game?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to see this movie now at all. I definitely had the superior version of it. I'm not gonna waste my time with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah, game was awesome. Number 7, Batman Telltale series.
Yeah,
Which was
good. Because I like this.
Do people not like it?
So many people hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was brilliant.
I loved it.
I thought it was amazing. So
Yeah.
we can spoil this.
Oh
right?
yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Let
So
me just write that
yeah.
down.
So spoilers in case you haven't played through. No, I thought it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
I
mean,
there were parts of it that dipped for me. I will admit there were parts of it that dipped a little bit for me, especially in episode 4.
episode 4 was my favorite one too.
The episode 4 didn't push it enough for me.
So
But man, the payoff on every story arc.
super great.
Was
so like
amazing.
A lot of people's frustrations with it, I think, hinge on a lot of the decisions, which is cool. It feels like this one goes way more into
why I liked
directions. Yeah, and they really committed to it.
Yeah.
Like, so did you save? It was episode 2, I think. Save.
So I saved Selena.
Yeah, I saved Harvey.
Okay.
So that's
So we have
big
very
Big
different
difference.
playthroughs.
Yeah.
That's really and no, I debated going back. And like the cool thing was as I was playing through the game because I had no idea that was. I mean, it happened, and I was like, no. And then I'm like, wait, could he have not become Two-Face?
Yeah. So in my game, he is not Two-Face. He's still a villain.
Right.
But
he still is the like the personality.
a
right?
little bit.
Okay.
But like to a much less extent, and like he's very aware that something is wrong with him, and he talks like about like mental health issues that his like family's had apparently.
Oh wow. Oh, that's awesome.
And like at the beginning of 3, like when he's in the hospital, he's like. I know I'm like the stress is getting to me, and like my therapist that I used to see told me like, and he brought up this stuff of like this is like that has always been a problem for him, and essentially like if he got injured that would have been his breaking point. So instead,
that's so cool.
Like
I didn't get any of that.
Instead, the injury was essentially like the attack was what made him paranoid, and the paranoia made it a much more slower burn of him like losing his mind.
Gotcha.
And it was a way different. Like he was still a villain, but he wasn't Two-Face.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
Harvey Dent, the mobster villain, in a very different way. And I was like so into it.
That's awesome.
So
that's really cool.
At the end of episode 4, did you go after Penguin or Two-Face?
I went after Penguin.
Okay, I went after Two-Face.
Interesting.
So those are the big 2 ones, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So that
because I was like, because isn't Penguin beating up Lucius or something like that? He's in Wayne. He
has your tech. He's trying to shut down your tech.
I was like, I remember I was like, Batman doesn't care about his house, but he's not gonna let like all this stuff.
So I didn't want to give up the Batcave. So
which makes sense. But again, that's why I like it. That's what I like about this.
So I mean, because we could spend the rest of this talking about this. I just have some specific questions.
Yeah.
What happened at the beginning of episode 5?
I went to. This is what I remember. I went to Harvey. At my house.
Yeah.
As Bruce.
Yeah.
And then he had like a bunch of hostages. Like including like his secretary and like a random cop and like a bunch of people. And he kills one of them.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he kills one of them because he's doing the coin flip. He's Two-Face. Yeah. And he even changes.
Yeah, he's Two-Face.
It says Two-Face will remember this or two. Like,
okay.
It changed to Two-Face at that point. Because I had betrayed him earlier in episode 4 with Selena. Which
I didn't romance Selena either, so that's a big thing.
I was going with the story in the I regret this, but this is part of the story now.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that because when he shows up, I was like, I forgot you guys were dating, and I legitimately forgot. I completely forgot it, but it felt right and just with Bruce's story and everything. I was and I saved her too. I was trying to bring her over to the other side, which is why I love the way they handled it and fight with her.
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes in and catches Bruce in her apartment and everything, and flips out.
Yeah.
Full on Two-Face at this point. This is when he is Two-Face. So I knew he was at his breaking point. So he flips the coin, kills the dude. And Bruce is trying to calm him down at this point. And eventually he does. Bruce ends up calming him down. And I think I takes the gun from him or something like that. And he it's so interesting because it's then Harvey will come out. And he's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And the Two-Face and they're doing this with him the whole time. And you calm Harvey down.
Yeah.
And then they do come and arrest him, because he blew up half a city block and he's killing people and everything.
It was messed up when he blew up that block. Yeah.
So they come and arrest him, and you're okay, but I got to Harvey, right? And then he's walking out, and he says something to you, and they show the Two-Face side, and it says Two-Face, and I was like, no, it's gone, complete. But I like Two-Face as a villain. Two-Face is probably my favorite Batman villain.
Okay. But the Penguin in this game.
The Penguin in this game was awesome.
So
but the Harvey Dent aspect of it is interesting. The connection to Bruce Wayne and everything. So even though it's cool that you didn't have to do it, I like that aspect of the story, and I like the way it played out in this. It felt tragic. Appropriately tragic.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
I like Navashin really didn't he did. He sounds like he made all the same choices as you, and he really didn't like how they handled Harvey.
I loved it.
And I didn't fight Penguin, so I had to fight Penguin at the beginning of episode 5.
Okay.
And it begins with the Commissioner Grotto or whatever his name is getting killed.
Okay.
Yeah. What happens to Gordon? I heard
nothing happened in mine.
Okay.
The Commissioner does get killed in mine.
So that's how my episode 5 started, was Penguin's goons killing him.
Yeah, I remember that being in there, but I don't think that's how it started.
Yeah.
That happened later, I think.
And then after that, I met Penguin in the Cobblepot Park as Bruce. So it's either Bruce taking down Penguin.
So I didn't.
Bruce taking down Two-Face. Yeah. And it's me basically pissing the Penguin off enough so that Gordon can sneak up behind him and knock him out.
Okay, yeah, no, I beat the.
It was really.
I didn't beat the crap out of him, but I definitely beat him up.
Yeah. Oh, you can break his arm.
Yeah, no, I know. I played.
Heard about that.
I played a much more restrained,
Me too.
Batman and everything like that.
And I liked the whole ending stuff. I thought the
ending was brilliant.
Yeah.
Because I said, so what I dug about it the most was they drastically changed the lore.
Yeah. And they didn't care. They made their own Batman.
It was real, but it was done so well. And
cool.
It's that thing of this is what always ruins comics because I don't like comics. And I've had friends that are into them and try and get me into them, and I'm like, no, this continuity doesn't make sense. It's always so confusing, and they do weird things to try and make it connect. would prefer if they were just like, here's a story.
Yeah.
Like, so like the ones I've enjoyed.
Yeah, or like the 12 issue runs of just
like
stories.
Max Landis' Superman
Yeah.
comic, which I've never read a Superman comic in my entire life. I have no attachment to that character. But I like Max Landis. I'm a fan of his work.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing. And it's contained.
Yeah.
Like, he might do something else with it, but like it's contained. It's 7 like short little stories, and it tells it like that's cool. And I felt like that's what this was doing. It was like, this is the Batman story we want to tell.
Yeah.
Like the Vicky Vale twist is amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Amazing. Because I was totally like, I'm gonna romance Vicky Vale. Like, I took the stuff to her at the beginning of the episode. Because I'm like, Gordon is the go-to guy, right?
Yeah.
I want to see a different aspect. I want to embrace being a little different. So like, let's go that route. Like, let's see. And then, nope, didn't matter at all. Like, but like that twist was so cool. And like, really cool. What a way to take a character that most people don't know about, like, or have any attachment to, unless like they're real old school fans.
Yeah.
And do something super interesting with her.
Yeah.
Like, that was brilliant.
Yeah. And like the torture room and everything. So good.
Because I remember when they do the murder thing.
Yeah.
And I think episode 4.
I think it's 3.
Is it whenever her like when you do the house that she grew up in?
Yeah.
And you're like investigating her killing her parents. I forget which one it's in. And I'm like, this seems.
It's 4 because it's only revealed to you that she's bad at the end of 3.
Yeah.
So.
I'm like, this seems weird. Like, because it's like you just find out she's like psycho.
Yeah.
And then they're like. And she went and killed her parents for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And I like that they don't reveal like what her parents did until the next episode.
And so that was part of why I didn't like 4 until I played through 5. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, now these things make more sense to me. Because that was, like, the belt.
Yeah.
What a cool reveal that was.
Yeah,
like, why, like, the significance of that and everything. And, like, putting that... The reveal and finally having the full puzzle together with her was really,
and that's
really,
like,
really cool.
this Telltale series doesn't have the normal issues, the pacing issues that Telltale series do. Like, there was no low point. I think it was consistently great. And then 3 and 4, which are typically the worst episodes in the Telltale series, were some of the best in the series. So I
didn't like 4 as much as you. I like 2 and 3. 2 and 3 I thought were the best ones. But
because 4 was great,
overall,
4 was great for me because of the payoff with the Harvey Dent story at the end, right? So I went for
right.
Harvey, right?
Yeah.
And like it's great because he's using like this machine gun with incendiary rounds.
Oh, that's awesome!
And one of the rounds explodes and burns half of his body, but it doesn't burn his face.
That's cool.
It burns his arm. So like, I had this partially ruined Harvey Dent, who is like humbly insane. Not like broken, essentially. Not Two-Face broken.
Yeah.
And I send him to Arkham Asylum at the end. And it's so different, and like that payoff is so good.
That's cool.
And
That's really cool.
The Joker was really cool.
I was not a big fan of the Joker.
I thought it was cool.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I didn't feel like he needed to be in the...
He didn't need to be in the...
I take that back. Because actually, the one Batman comic I like, The Long Halloween, which is what The Dark Knight was based on.
Yeah.
Which is a Harvey Dent story at its core.
Which I feel like we've talked about The Long Halloween before.
We might. I mean,
you were the one that I think that
it's a 12-issue story, like,
and
it
takes over like a year, right?
Self-contained, like it is what it is. But the Joker is a side character in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do like it doesn't. I get why.
It's not about you.
I get why people do, because it's ultimate polar opposite. I get why people like that.
He's great in this because he never really interacts with Batman.
Yes.
He only interacts with Bruce Wayne, and it's amazing.
I think my problem with it is the voice more than anything else.
Yeah,
I think that really was my problem with it. But it wasn't like...
He was good, I thought.
It wasn't... It was their own thing. Like, we got to see what's going on. Like, and I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah.
I would like for Joker to obviously be in it, because that's how they hint at it. But like,
for sure.
Hopefully they'll bring in like some interesting other villains as well, and like do cool stuff. I also I would love for Vicky's foster brother or whatever that, even if they're not
to be Robin.
Yes. Like, I thought that's what they were setting up.
Totally.
So
I was with you. Yeah.
Please do that. Like, that's such a brilliant tie-in.
For a multitude of reasons.
It makes sense.
Oh yeah,
it makes perfect sense. So like, I'm really, really hoping that was what they were sewing.
And they never say his name. So
no. I'm like, it doesn't even have to be Dick Grayson or I would like Tim from the anime series.
Yeah,
because that makes sense. Like,
Tim's great too.
I feel like Dick Grayson's origin is like very like we
It's
know
like
what this is.
Sacred.
Yeah, whereas I think you could.
Batman's
play
apparently
Devil
wasn't
more,
sacred, so
which was also awesome. Like that was really really cool.
dude.
I mean, its origin is still the same. They just
Yeah.
add another layer to it,
and it's
like,
great.
I feel like it'd be tough to
but,
not
like,
do the acrobats.
Yeah,
With a circus with decoration.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
it's great because now Batman doesn't have to fight. He fights for different reasons. He fights for himself.
Yeah,
And
I
it's,
don't know.
it's
That's
so good.
That's a good series.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm excited for them to make more of that, which I've never said about a Telltale series before.
I want more Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, that's
badly.
true. Yes.
And I don't think we're gonna get it, unfortunately.
We'll keep the dream
like,
alive.
and it ended on like major what the heck moment.
Reveal / tease. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like that game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So well. Number 6, Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh yeah.
Sun is what I played.
Pokemans. I have Sun as well. I'm not too far into it, but
I did beat it.
I like it.
I love that game. That like
when was your last Pokemon game?
I've actually kept up with Pokemon.
Okay.
So I played Omega Ruby.
I played Alpha Sapphire. I only got like halfway through it though.
I played through them all like cause me and my friends will sometimes like battle each other. I would never say that I'm like into that scene or whatever, but like I do play the game. Yeah, I don't like do all the like crazy stuff you gotta do to like get the best stuff or whatever. But like I enjoy like
your EV.
Yeah,
or
yeah, all that stuff. Like, I don't like do any of that, but like, but some of my friends do. So like, I try and like keep up with them as much as I can. And like, for me, Pokemon has always been like, I think I even wrote an article about this on IP.
Yeah,
like it's like kind of like my fountain of youth to a degree, where it's like I always feel like a kid when I'm playing.
Yeah,
like,
I think always for X and Y.
It always takes me back. To being a kid. So we all like, all my friends like we're getting this. Like all 4 of us got it, like kind of thing. So. I think for me, what like really cemented this one compared to like X and Y and like all the other ones, is this was like Gold and Silver. It was a huge leap. They drastically changed things in a way that they don't.
Changed the game.
They haven't since Gold and Silver.
Yeah,
like, and that was and it was done well. Like all the finally getting rid of the HMs.
Yeah,
like
that was probably my favorite part. Like having only gotten one of like the Pokemon assistants. Like it's so liberating.
Yeah, it's awesome. The embracing of the culture, of the setting and everything. Like we're not just putting like a France coat of paint or an American coat of paint on this. Like everything that happens here is reflective of where we're setting.
It's been so fun because like one of my friends, Alyssa, she's from Hawaii. So hearing her and her boyfriend Barrett like talk about like how Hawaiian this is, is so cool. Like the Kukui or him like
professor.
Him like going into your house is like this very Hawaiian thing, like because everyone knows everyone and like we're all family and like it's like that's so cool. So
and like the story was actually
good.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it. But it was like it wasn't great, but like for a Pokemon game, like it had like actual like kind of emotional moments.
It feels like an RPG in a way Pokemon games have not.
Yes,
felt.
It didn't feel like baby's first RPG.
Yeah,
it felt like like 7-year-old's first RPG. I don't know, like but like it did.
Toddler's first RPG.
It felt like something that was more grown up. Like that it was like we were evolving this in a natural way. And I mean like the new Pokemon I thought were really cool.
Yeah, the Alolan Pokemon.
The Z moves I could have done without. I like that addition, but like the
you don't
designs,
ever have to use them.
No, and I very rarely did. Like I liked the designs of all the new Pokemon. Like I think the game was kind of hard. Like for a Pokemon game, like it was actually like kind of challenging again. The moving between there's so much in that game that I just love. Like I really loved everything about
I just got to the second island for your reference. So I'm like 6.5, 7 hours in. So I'm not too far in.
Yeah.
But like I did the one challenge. I fought the first Kahuna.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like the way they like no more league.
Yeah, and
we're not doing this gym thing anymore.
I heard about how like the Elite Four works. In this game, I'm like that's cool.
It's
like,
really really cool. Like, it is so well done. Yeah,
it's cool to have like something like embrace being new as well. Like be kind of aware of that and lean into it and have fun with it. So
I like that. And it's like my kind of check is like I can't name things from X and Y or Diamond and Pearl or Black and White. Like
Black and White I can.
They're so to me just like I can't even remember like which Pokemon were necessarily in there. Like I remember like really like bits and pieces of it. Like but like Sun and Moon I feel like I really remember the stuff. Like it like has that like that like was memorable.
Yeah,
like,
because it's very different.
Like and even like the like throwaway characters, like you haven't met them all yet, but like the captains and stuff like that. Like I remember them and like they like stick and they tried doing that with other games.
Yeah.
But they would show up at the end. I'm like, oh, I forgot you were in this game, and like as I'm playing the game, forget them. Whereas, like, you know, I beat Sun and Moon when it came out, and I still remember, like, pretty much everything from that game.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool to see Pokemon move in that direction.
Yeah, it's neat, and for me, it kind of reminded me of, like, A Link Between Worlds, where it's, like, it feels like them testing the waters.
Yeah,
and next time they're really gonna change it, kind of like what they're doing with Breath of the Wild.
Right.
And... yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah, I hope that they continue to push it forward in smart ways like that.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Top 5, let's go.
All right. Overwatch.
Yeah.
Which I just got.
Yeah, I was like, when did you get Overwatch?
I just got Overwatch. 2 weeks ago, something like that, when it was on sale. I was part of the holiday sale that PSN was running. And
Overwatch, man.
That's
a video game.
Yeah, it is. Like, and I was very much like, I don't need this game. Like,
I remember trying to get you to buy this game earlier this year.
Yeah, I have shooters. Like, I had Destiny.
Yeah.
Like, and that was part of it. Like,
we played Destiny, so like
we played through Destiny, and Destiny is done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with Destiny.
Yeah, me
at this
too.
Point. Like,
did we play through the raid?
No, we didn't. Like, there's still there. I want to do. I haven't done the raid yet. No, we didn't.
Okay.
I did not. I have not done that raid. I still have a few other things to do. Destiny.
That's my favorite raid too.
But in terms of like playing it once a week.
Did we play through Kingsfall again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we played. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember I stayed up super late and was very upset.
Then you were done with Destiny.
Yeah, I played a little bit after that. I remember. I remember too. Where like you guys are like, oh, what are this? And I was like, I don't care. I want to go to bed. Like I want to go to bed. I want to go to bed.
We finished it though.
Yeah, we did. That was rough. I'm like actually like my head hurts just thinking about how tired I was after that.
Yeah.
That was a rough.
That was a rough one.
That was a rough next day. But yeah, I was done with Destiny, but I like having a shooter to play.
Yeah.
And you know, I have Battlefront, I have Battlefield, but like I'm not very good at those games. Like, and they're so like, I mean, it's war. Like, so like you're throwing.
It's not very jolly.
You're throwing yourself like at things sometimes, and if you're not playing with someone, it's you know it's very singular and everything. So Overwatch is the exact opposite. It's super team based, like and everything like that. And I was like, this seems more fun. Like, this is, like, that Destiny itch that I'm looking for. So I picked it up and, like, played through, like, maybe 10 minutes of it, like, the first night I got it. And I was like, this is really cool. Like, I like what's going on here. And, like, the next day I was like, man, I really want to go play Overwatch. Like, and I was like, okay, like, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So, like, and that's what I would do with it. I would just play it for a few hours, like, every night. Like, and it's, the way they get you into games is so smart. Mm-hmm. Like, you never stop playing. Like, the skirmish, and then, oh, nope, you're in a game now, like, is brilliant.
Yeah.
And even, like, you know, oh, you didn't do well, you jump into another match. Like, it's fine. Like, and you're, like, paired up with people that, you know, are, like, in your level and stuff, so, like, I never feel terrible at the game.
You haven't played any competitive, it sounds like.
No, I haven't.
You haven't been broken yet.
I haven't gotten up to the competitive yet, so I'm having fun with it right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because the most fun I've had with Overwatch is in, like, when I've got, like, a group of 3 in competitive, like, doing it.
Yeah.
But, like, the pendulum swings hard on that. I like competitive more because, like, if you play Payload, for example, you do both sides in one match.
Gotcha.
So, and then it's, like, kind of best of both wins. If there's a tie, there are situations to kind of account for that. So it's way longer matches. They're like 30 minutes minimum usually. And I like that it leans into that kind of like not quite to like the Dota extreme of like 50 to an hour long matches.
Yeah.
But it is longer. It's more intense. There's more times for you to make up for your mistakes. And it's like the stakes are a lot higher. So I like competitive more. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely like it wears you down.
I want to play competitive. Like I would like to get out there, but that's part of what I like about it. That there's a progression to build up to that.
Yeah, right? But they just added the no double characters into quick play.
Yeah.
They just added that. So that's all you've known probably.
Right. Yes.
So like that used to be competitive exclusive. And so like. Quick play is better for me now.
Yeah,
so
and like
not 6 Genjis just running around.
And like, I think it's so smart in the way it does its level, like not level design, but like the design of teaching you the game.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Like I'm learning everything by playing the game.
Yeah.
Everything that I need to know, I'm learning just by playing this quickly until I'm finally up to like, and I'm like every match like learning. Okay, this strategy like didn't work, or like
or this choke point is,
or like even playing with like wow this team setup was terrible. Like we like didn't do what we were supposed to do, or like because I always end up playing as the healer in quick play because no one will ever pick a healer.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
So I always play as Lucio because that's the healer I can play as right now pretty well. And I'm always in the highlights at the end, like not like the play of the game, but like you can vote on like the always end up in there whenever I play as every single time.
Yeah.
And like I like that you get rewarded for that, like to a degree. It's like we are recognizing you're playing support character, but like you're doing really good at what you're doing, and like but playing that, it's like I understand now. Like I have a role.
Yeah.
And this is the role I'm playing.
Play your goddamn role.
So like. And it's like it's interesting now, like because so many times in shooters, it's like, man, I suck. Like I die, and it's like, well, I'm not getting protected by anyone, so this isn't my fault that I'm getting killed. It's like and like you recognize like I'm getting killed a lot. That means someone isn't doing their job, and like sure enough, when that happens, it's because like the offensive people are like halfway like on the other side of the map instead of being at the payload where they're supposed to be, or like doing what they're supposed to be doing. So like. Learning the roles that way has been really, really fun for me. Of like just being able to like have the time to sit down and study the game and not get thrown into like Battlefront. I jumped back in when they released the Rogue One DLC, and I hadn't played in like 6 months, and I'm getting annihilated.
Yeah,
like
done.
There's nothing for me to do there, so it's not fun. Like it's too much of a curve to get over. Whereas this is like no, you're going to build up to that. We're not just going to throw you into it. We're going to make sure that you really understand. I mean, some people might not get it by the time they're up to level 25, but like if you're paying attention and you're really thinking about the game, like there's no reason not to. Mm-hmm. And the game's just fun.
Yeah, it's great, dude.
Like, it's balanced well. Like
some of the most rewarding just to play video games.
Yeah,
of this year.
Absolutely.
What are your go-to characters? Just
so I play McCree.
I hate McCree.
I like Cowboys. I like Cowboys.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just bad with them.
I'm not great as offensive character, so I don't play as them a ton. I'm still like trying to find like the ones I like. Mm-hmm. But I play as McCree and Reaper if I'm playing offensive, which is rare because I definitely play Lucio the most. That's my healer.
Mercy's my healer.
Hanzo I play, and then I do Reinhardt as my tank.
Okay.
And those are the characters I play the most right now.
Yeah.
Diva I'm okay with.
Okay.
I haven't like experimented too much with her, but like the few times I've like played with her, I was like, oh, this is clicking for me.
I'm probably best with Zarya out of the tank family. She's the hardest. She's for sure the hardest to play out of all of them.
Yeah, I played as her once, and it was no bueno.
You got to micromanage.
It was no bueno. But it reminds me actually a lot of like Smash Brothers to a degree.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the characters are drastically different.
Yeah.
And like you really got to learn like how they play, and once you know how they play, a weird character like a Game & Watch or a Mega Man can be really good in the right hands.
Yeah.
And it's so cool seeing like people embrace it, like because there have been times when like I've played and it's terrible, and like no, I'm getting killed, like and there are other times when like everyone's on, and it's awesome. It feels so good.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, that is and again, it's a competitive shooter. This is only multiplayer. Like for it to be that good, just on the gameplay is awesome. I know they have the extra stuff, like the story stuff, like that you can go and watch and everything. And the world that they build is really, really cool. Yeah. Like from what I've seen,
they're fun. Those things are fun to watch. You don't have to get them though.
Right. And I get why people like. I understand why people can get invested in it.
Yeah.
Like I totally get why it's like the game that some people play, because there's enough there to care about.
Yeah. There's a diversity to everyone. Like there's so many people of different nationalities and people of color and everything. So like there's really something for everyone in this.
Oh yeah. And
it's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you finally got it.
Super fun video game.
Number 4.
Yeah. Battlefield 1.
Okay.
Opposite side of the shooter.
I didn't expect this to be on your list.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. I just didn't take you for a Battlefield person.
I love World War I.
Okay, that makes sense now.
And Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
Specifically. I think that like Lawrence of Arabia is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
I like T.E. Lawrence. I have books on him. I like him. So that was like when I saw that, I was like, All right, I'm so, and I do play Battlefield over Call of Duty. Okay. I stopped playing Call of Duty. I get Battlefield primarily because that's like Battlefront plays like that. So like that's more my wheelhouse. So like I've had 3, 4, and that 1. And I mean it's Battlefield. Like it's different because it's World War One and like all that stuff. Like the shooting is like cool and everything. I played the demo of it and I was like, the multiplayer's fun. It's what I expect from Battlefield.
Yeah.
But it is a throwback to like when we had World War II shooters and everything, and like it embraces that world and everything. But the reason it's as high on my list is because that story campaign was amazing.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've played very, very little bit of it. Like,
all right.
An hour total.
Then I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
But like it is.
So many people have told me that this is really good.
It is the best shooter campaign I've ever, like, military shooter campaign I've ever seen.
Okay.
Because
Titanfall 2 is my favorite.
I did not play Titanfall 2.
It would not have hit you. I think is hard. It's a different thing.
The thing with Battlefield, and again, like as someone, I like history, like
yeah.
so, like there are things that I'm like picking up on. Of like, oh yeah, like I remember this and stuff like that. It is so like classy and elegant the way it does not glorifying war at all. In the campaign, at all. Mm-hmm. Like it is like did you play the first?
Yeah, I played the intro. No, I was not in a state to appreciate it, but yeah, like this whole like
it was just like when I saw that I was like, okay, this like they're not skirting away from because World War One was about people just dropping.
Yeah,
like it was
the body count.
It was numbers, and it was just like we're gonna throw like it was a brutal, ugly, like just disgusting war in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, so this is clearly going to be like a focus of this. And then I didn't play through all the campaigns, but I played through most of them. And like, man, what they're like, it goes back to that the heroism and like just the simple actions of man and like the everyday like people like just stepping up, and that's like the heroism that they're celebrating. So it's not like action hero, I'm killing 50 dudes, like anything like that. It is like being the person that goes a little bit further.
Yeah.
Or like being the guy that stands by like your men, or like, you know, that does like the right thing, or like I don't know, it's just it handles war in a way that I've never seen in a video game. Like it's so adult and mature in the way it's handling it.
It's funny because like from what I understand, I haven't played either of them really, so but Call of Duty Infinite Warfare does a similar thing from what I understand this year, where it's like very morbid, very like not glorifying war. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously on the opposite end of the spectrum of fiction with like robots,
right. Which is why I was like, I don't really need this.
Yeah, but it's cool to hear because like you think like the prime of military shooters maybe like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, of like the Modern Warfare 2s and like the Bad Companies,
right? Of
like this absurdity, and like this action hero vibe. And it was kind of like Call of Duty,
the bro shooter thing. I mean, it was that. That's why that became a thing.
It's like Modern Warfare 2 tried to tote that line, like with like the no Russian mission and everything.
Yeah.
Was that was Modern Warfare?
Yeah, that was. I think that was tough.
Yeah, it was. But like it also, you know, you jump to Modern Warfare 3 and it's just it's gone. So I think that's better for video games as a medium for them to kind of embrace.
Absolutely. Like I don't want to say that this is Saving Private Ryan in terms of video games or anything like that, but like for video games, it was like wow, like
at least
this is big AAA like shooter, like what we would typically call a bro shooter, and like they're not doing that. Like this is really real, and like this, I don't want to spoil it, but some of the endings of them were like pretty clever, like, and like what they were doing with some of the storytelling and stuff. I'm like, this is like good like storytelling here, like, and I love the vignettes, like again, because like it's almost like you're getting a diary kind of thing, like you're just getting these. It just felt so true to like the way you experience history and you research it. And I know like it's not. I mean it's fluffed up. It's movie like kind of like, you know, we're playing, but Saving Private Ryan was too.
Yeah,
they didn't ever send 4 guys out to go and rescue one private.
Yeah, but
like that movie still feels like what would you imagine World War II would have felt like. And so I thought that this was like really, really handling that well, like with some real grace.
Yeah.
So I hope that for me that was like kind of like a step up above what I've seen before, and like a surprising step up where I was like, because I remember getting it, I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna do a campaign for this. Like, this is a weird subject to have to tackle, and I think they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun doing these top 10 podcasts because it really does highlight the things that I didn't give a chance or I missed, and this is the one that's come up, I think, in every list that I've had,
really?
except for one. So, yeah, I want to play it. It makes me want to play it. So
cool. Yeah, for the campaign alone. Like, even if you just pick it up on sale one day and just go through the campaign.
My brother has a copy of it, so I'd borrow it. So,
yeah, there you go. It's that's an awesome game.
All
right, number 3.
I think I caught a glimpse of the top 3.
Yeah.
So I think I know we're gonna have to spoil this one.
Didn't finish it.
Okay, you didn't finish this one.
Didn't finish it.
Okay.
But I have to put it on the list, and I have to put it this high.
Okay.
So it's Inside.
Yeah. You haven't finished? It's like 4 hours long.
I got it recently.
Okay.
And just
wow.
I like that's not entirely true. I did buy it a while ago, but
this is gonna be your Undertale of like you having not experienced everything. Like it's either gonna go one way or the other. You're either gonna love it or hate it. And I am fascinated to know. So where are you at in Inside?
I'm not. I don't think I'm super far. I'm probably like an hour in, maybe, or something like that.
What's happening?
I don't. I'm like in some like dark like area, and I'm solving one of those head puzzles. Like where like you're attached like to the thing you're controlling. Like,
is there like a minecart involved?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm around there.
Okay.
I think I'm like an hour in.
Okay.
I know I'm not far in. I never beat Limbo either. I love Limbo.
Yeah, well, Limbo's ending is actually really amazing. I think Inside's ending is great as well. Yeah. It's more divisive. I am just like you haven't even seen some of my favorite parts of that game.
No, I'm sure I haven't.
And it's already so why is it this high then?
Because again, like the gameplay and the storytelling through the gameplay is just unbelievable. Like
it's really impeccable.
Like from the beginning. When you're like the chase and like the way it was teaching you things, and I love like the way it was like I remember like this like dude tackles me at first, and I'm like, oh, now I know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm like, I was supposed to die there. Like,
it was the same. I had a similar experience.
Like and I was like, okay, like the way it's teaching me how to play the game right now is really cool, like with the atmosphere that's going with it and like everything. But it's like the level design and the game design in that like is so freaking good that like that was why I had to put it as high on the list as I did, was like despite the fact that I hadn't played much of it, I was so blown away like by what I was playing, where I was just like oh my god, this is like Mega Man X first level, like Super Mario first level kind of stuff going on here.
It is like the first the moment where I was like, God, wow, was when you were running away from the dogs.
Yep, that was mine.
Yeah, and like it's literally just enough time to get away.
Yep.
Like calculated down to a millisecond of like you jump off the cliff and the dog's like right there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god. And like you feel that.
Yes.
And I died once doing that, so it was kind of like a lesson, but I still felt it.
Yeah. And that was what I liked about this, I think, over Limbo for me. Was the way they were telling the story more and more. Like, it didn't... Because I feel like Limbo punished you pretty early in the game. Like, that spider you encounter pretty early in the game. And, like, it's brutal. This felt a little more subdued in some of, like, the things that happen to the kid, like, when you die.
You've got so much ahead of you.
But again, like, the beginning of the game, like, with like that spider kill is, like, jarring.
Like, when it goes right
that
through
is jarring. Whereas, like, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, I'm way farther... Like that spider point.
It saves its punches for later,
right?
And it makes it hurts more. Like it's, and like it looks a little bit like there's more tone to it, right? Versus like just the full two-tone of Limbo. And gray. Like there's all the subdued colors of red and blue and green, and like this kind of layer of gray on top of all that. And your character, like the animation of the boy, is just so good. Gives him so much life. Like maybe not even like personality. He's still pretty neutral, but like. There's life there. He's very much alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the storytelling again, like in the background, like just as part of the gameplay and the way they're doing things is so genius.
Yeah, there are parts where again, like not a spoken word there, and there are parts where like my heart was just thumping because of how that world made me feel.
Yeah.
And like you saw the Alex Talks where I talked about it, is like there's so much that goes into world building in that game, like, and it creates an atmosphere, like this feeling that is around you constantly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really, really incredible.
And it's fulfilling on the promise of Limbo. It's building on what Journey did. And I even like, cause, I mean, you know, I love games like Gone Home. I like walking simulator games. I don't consider that like to be a bad, like a negative or something like that.
Yeah, it's good.
But it is cool to see someone take that same environmental storytelling and do it with good gameplay, like marrying it to like the gameplay aspect of it as well, not just like,
yeah,
you know, like I love Gone Home. I think Gone Home is a story that could only be told in a video game.
Yeah.
But like,
there's not much to it.
There's no real gameplay, and like not that like, you know, Inside is like unbelievable, but like the marriage between the two,
it's a good meeting in the middle.
So good. It's like what you wish like BioShock Infinite could have like married, where like, you know, like the first person and like storytelling,
like,
and then the gunplay like feel different. Like you wish that they could be like connected that way.
Yeah, the gameplay is as subtle as the environmental storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's like them being equal makes that just talk to each other in a way that few games ever achieve.
Very, very.
It's so polished.
So it's again, it was like even though I didn't get all the way through, like I played an hour and I was like, I know where this is.
Yeah, like follow as soon as you finish it.
I will.
You need to follow.
I definitely will.
There's like one scene about in the middle too. That was my favorite scene, just because of the way the environment tells the story, and
I'm very excited. I mean, like Battlefield 1 was higher on the list originally. There are 2 games to knock it down, and like an hour of Inside was like enough to knock that down. Where I was just like, nope, like this is 4.
I would say it's about 4 hours long, and all 4 of those hours are.
Yeah, so I am looking forward to, and like now I have a little time off, so that's one of the things I want to work on.
Yeah.
But the reason I haven't been able to finish it. This is my number 2.
Yeah. I saw this one. I'm so upset I spoiled this for myself.
I know, I am too. I'm really bummed that you saw this as well. But this skyrocketed up my list. Like, so I got this game as a gift for Christmas. And so I've only played it for like 3 days, I guess, or 4 days or something like that, because I didn't get to play much when I got it. But like just every day it like moved farther and farther up the list, and it is Final Fantasy 15.
This is gonna be the one, man. This is even more divisive than Inside, I think. Like
I again have not beaten it.
Of course not.
Like definitely have not beaten it. I am probably 12 hours in.
Okay. So you're just having fun. You and your boys.
I love this game so much.
Are just having a good time.
So I am having such a good time playing this game. Like I want to be playing it right now.
Yeah.
Like it is so, and like again, it is like I'll play for like an hour.
We might actually have to have a spoiler cast on this. Like that's how like after you finish it, let me know.
Okay,
and we could probably talk about 2 hours on that
easily.
game alone.
But yeah, like I am not a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah.
I love 7. And like you know I love 7.
This one reminds me a lot of 7.
That's why I love it so much. Like, it is... It's exactly what I expected the game to be.
It was better than what I expected.
Well, I mean, it played probably better than I did, because I was souring on it a little bit. Like, the more stuff that was coming out, I was like, I don't know about this. And, like, it's not perfect. No. Like, there are flaws in this game, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, like...
it's working
for me on so many more levels.
Yeah, like, I love it as well. So, like... And I've been talking about a lot on Twitter recently of like there are so many problems with it, right?
Yeah.
Especially the storytelling, like when it gets to kind of where it's more linear.
Yeah.
And that's definitely things we'll have to talk about at some point. Just because I feel like from like you as a movie storyteller perspective, when it attempts to take on that kind of style, you'll have a lot of interesting things to say about it. But no one is talking about like all the things that game does so well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the reviews I read for it...
The reviews are positive. I'm talking about mostly, like, my friends.
Gotcha. So. Like, I don't... Like, the reviews... Again, like, so I tried to measure my hype for this because I was like... I don't know, like, you know, like, how can this... And I wanted versus...
It's a crapshoot, honestly.
I wanted versus 13, so I'm like...
It is not versus 13.
And my expectations were very, very tempered on it. But, like, so I was focusing on things I like, which is, like, I like cars. Yeah. I like the like mythology that exists around the car in like terms of American culture. Like I
Yeah.
actually find that very, very interesting, and it resonates.
There's a
with me,
lot of that kind of culture stuff in the game too.
which is why it, like so much of it's resonating it with like me deep. I'll address some of the negatives that like
Sure.
just to get them out of the way. Like it is like it's cliched like Final Fantasy. Like the dialogue's not great. Like although the incidental dialogue in the game I think is actually pretty good.
It's great.
But like the cutscene stuff is like kind of like it's very much like okay, like there's cringy. There's cringy stuff in there. I don't like the character designs. I never did.
Spiky here doesn't do anything for you.
No, I guess like playing more of the game. I wish this is my one genuine like complaint, and it's just me personally. But I wish they had steered more into the like Americana Route 66. Like aesthetic that the world has.
Have you gotten to like the second area?
Yeah.
So
Duske or whatever it is. Yeah.
So it gets away from that kind of like deserty
right.
feel.
And like you know it works better than I thought it would because I remember like the first time I saw them going to that ocean city and they're in their boy band clothes and then they're like walking around with dudes in polo shirts and khakis. I was like, this is weird.
It is super. It's still weird.
Right. And like, it's better that I have the other guys where they're casual.
Okay. Yeah.
They are not wearing all black. Like,
yeah.
Because they pop better for me that way. So I actually don't have them all dressed the same.
Yeah.
So that helps a little bit. Like,
I change it based on context.
If I'm doing like a major story mission,
yeah,
dude. All right, this is really nerdy. But I'm gonna spoil at least like the beginning. But like after Insomnia falls, which isn't that much of a spoiler.
No, everyone knows that happens.
But like, and you're reported dead. I threw on Noctis's like hat and everything because I'm kind of need it now. So I was like doing all those parts, and then like the Imperial soldiers just started showing up, and I'm like, well, they know where I am no matter what, so whatever. But yeah, I'll sometimes throw it back on too, like where I don't know, but I like that aspect of it that like it's like like you know like they've been sleeping this close for a few days. They're gonna have to change.
I'm
like
so excited to see you talking.
But like. I will say I would have loved to see them steer more into that that's the world and I understand that they're trying to contrast it, so I can't necessarily like call it a fault. It's just not, it doesn't work for me as well as I think
it's not clicking as well.
Yeah, I think it would have been really cool if it was like a 7 or even like a Wild Arms or something or even like an Earthbound, which is like we're gonna embrace a totally different thing than you're used to. And we're going to do it in like...
Have you gotten to Lestalem yet?
Yeah, I just got there.
Yeah. I feel like that has a little bit of that.
It does. Like, I mean, it does. Like, it's not terrible. It's again, it's me. Like, I would have just loved to see, like, fully go for it. Like, because that's what I love about 7 is that same thing that you love about the original Star Wars movies and, like, Alien and stuff, where, like, it's... cyberpunk, like sci-fi or whatever, but it feels so dirty.
Yeah, it's dirty.
And it's like gritty and like down to earth, and you know they're on the slums. Like it's the lower level part. Like, I mean, Midgar, from what you see in that game, is a slum town.
Yeah,
like you don't see much of the high life. At all.
You never go on one of the plates.
No, and then from the rest of it, like you're out in the boonies, like which is what this game is. Like you know, Insomnia is kind of like Midgar, and then you got the boonies out there and everything. But like, I would have liked to see them a little more because like all the cars around you are like 1950s cars and like you know stuff like that. Which God, I would have loved if you could have had one of those cars. And I did.
Dude, like imagine Prompto just hanging on the bed of a truck.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know.
So like I'll say because that was one of the things I loved about Mad Max was like the car customization. Again, I'm a car guy. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely did paint the regalia so that it's got like this like almost like
Sydney's boobs on it.
Yeah. We won't talk about that.
No one talks about it. We just don't address it.
I don't know. I mean, it's fine. I mean, she is attractive, so I'm not gonna say she's not. Like, she just looks.
It is so different than everything else in that game.
It is super over the top.
I think she just looks fake. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's over the top, but like, I mean, she is attractive. I'm not gonna say she's not. Like. I understand why Prompto
Prompto is so.
What's the return to Hammerhead? So I understand.
Hammerhead, guys.
I understand where he's coming from, and I don't know. I like that they incorporated that in there.
Mm-hmm. I like Sid a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's the characters.
So
what
do you like?
I want to say one thing real quick before we move on. The regalia.
Here we go.
I painted it baby blue.
Yeah.
And I got like the white stripe on the bottom so it looks like a 1950s car almost.
Yeah.
Like, I just need white wall tires.
I think that's it.
They might be, I haven't gotten it, but I'm
Sure.
like, give me some white wall tires, and I've almost got my, like, 1950s car in there, and I love cruising around in that thing, man. Alright, so that's, like, my one, like, thing I wish, that they had embraced a little bit more. I love the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, like, I've heard people complain about the plot.
I mean, you haven't even really gotten to the part where the plot, like...
No, I haven't, like, at all, because I don't care. Like, the story is already being told to me.
Yeah, the story's the characters.
Right, like, and it's part of, like...
So you will probably end up really liking this game.
I think I will, yeah. Because my mindset going into this... like,
you need to beat this game now.
My mindset going into this, like... And it even hit when, like, the plot came in and Insomnia fell and everything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go to that... The Bay Area for a long time. I went around doing a ton of stuff because I'm like,
there's a lot of that.
I'm on a road trip right now. Like, so I was way over leveled for a lot of that, like the early story mission stuff. And I was like, oh, I was probably supposed to do this a lot earlier than I did, but I'm like, it's a road trip.
You're
like,
always kind of over leveled for it.
And I'm going to be for the rest of the game because like so far I've been 10 over every story mission I'm supposed to do.
It ramps up enough like for the end that like there is challenging stuff there that you have the option to do.
Yeah, I mean it's not like it's not unchallenging or anything like that. Like because I'm tackling tougher side missions. Like I'm so far ahead in side missions than I am in the story missions.
Yeah.
But I walked into this like I was like, this is a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all this is to me. Because that's all I know about it. I don't have any expectations of anything other than the fact that I'm on a road trip right now. So, like, the plot points are the plot points. The story is the road trip.
Yeah.
And it's so everything that happens...
I mean, that's what they wanted it to be, actually.
Right. And it works. Yeah. Like, the beginning of the game is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
the opening
scene?
The
Stand By Me scene is incredible.
Yeah.
They could have cut the actual opening scene out. And if they just opened the car... Oh my god, it would have been so good. But like, I love that. It's awesome. Like, when I heard Stand By Me play for the first trailer, that was my moment of like, this game might be
something.
My game.
Yeah.
Like this might be because like I love that kind of stuff. Like that old like, you know, like music and like that friendship thing. I'm like, this might be exactly what I think it's going to be, and so far it is.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what I wanted. The character relationships, the way they talk to each other, like the pictures, which is brilliant and has no effect on gameplay whatsoever, but completely affects the story and the experience in such a brilliant way.
Yeah.
Like, all the way those things feed into, again, that's the story.
Yeah, it's like these weird characteristics about each character. Like, it is Prompto taking pictures, it is Gladio like being rough and tough survivalist, it is Ignis cooking, it is Noctis like weirdly liking fishing.
Right, which I love.
Yeah.
That's so
And they're
brilliant.
all kind of like weird characteristics, but like they make sense, and the way that those kind of like speak to each other between characters.
And the way Prompto, I love, like, okay, you're fishing again, I'm gonna go do like
yeah, like whatever.
Like,
and
it's
like
so...
them making fun of him while he's fishing too, and like Gladio saying like, you're better with a rod than you are with a sword. It's like, that's funny. Like they feel so organic in a way that
they do.
Like
even like God, like I just did the one with like Gladios' sister, where she's like clearly interested in you, like where you go on like a date with her and everything.
Yeah,
and like I was like, this is like, because that happens with real friends, where like the kid sister does like get a crush on one, and like like I love that they give you the choices of how to play it. Yeah, and like I have the one where it's like, oh, Gladius would probably kill me. Like this better not be a date or anything like that. And I'm like, God, this is just so
it's
like
funny.
It's the experience of it just feels so good.
It's genuine in a way that like I don't think any Japanese game has ever tried to be, and it has ever succeeded me.
No. And I love to see them steer more into that, like a lot more into that. But like it has me really excited for what's gonna come, like next. In terms of like, I feel like this is like them resetting the Final Fantasy series in a really, really smart way. Because the other thing I love about it is the gameplay loop. Like the gameplay loop is really, really fun. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna do these 3 things. Oh, it's almost time. It's like night. I'm gonna go in bed. I get my experience. I see what the benefits are of what I've done for this, hour or so that I played. I'm gonna go do more stuff. here are the benefits to it.
Yeah.
Like, and even like the side quests where it's like, hey, go fetch this thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's your experience, here's the reward you got for that. It's not just here's a little money or something like that. Like, there's an actual reason to do it.
Yeah, like you don't get money for doing anything,
right?
right? You get money for doing hunts, and you have to set out to do that.
Mm-hmm. But like even like the food quests. Where it's like, all right, I don't know if I really want to do that. Like, I was doing one of them where you're getting ingredients for the guy in Hammerhead.
Yeah, Taka.
And then it's like, Ignis got a new recipe. And I was like,
okay.
oh, like, so, like, they all, like, just, it's like, I do want to go do quests, not just for the grinding and the experience. I want to go to these other things that are happening.
Yeah, you go to a diner and you eat there instead of, like, cooking, and then you see Ignis, like, writing down the recipe.
Right.
Man, yeah, like, this, like... Or, like, you're on your way to a side quest, and Promise is like, hey, let's take a picture by this thing, and you get out of the car, and then that's an excuse to go somewhere, and then, like, maybe you see a fishing spot, or, like, look at this giant monster here, or look at this, like, outpost or whatever, and it's like, oh, like, this is really smart.
Yeah, it is. And like, and again, it feeds into the gameplay and it feeds into the story too. Because like, I just did one where you got to go for that reporter Dino.
Yeah.
And like go get gems for him.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been to the area that I was in before, and I stumbled upon a fishing spot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
I'm here.
And like, and it felt so natural. Like, of course he would go and
then
do
you
that.
catch a fish, and then you go to a camping spot and you cook the fish for dinner.
Yeah, it's just it feeds into itself really, really well. I mean, I do think that they got a little overambitious in some areas. Like, it's not perfect.
No,
but like, it's
in spite of itself, it is better. I think.
I think it is like for me the perfect example of something that is much greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
Like the way it comes together. Like I love this game. So, and like I could never finish this game. I've played this game for 12 hours now and have enjoyed every minute of it so far.
You do need to finish the story.
Like I will, but like I just like, you know, $60 for a solid 12 hours that you've enjoyed everything of, like, I don't get that from like other games I spent like that. Like, it's given me enough at this point that like, just from that perspective, I'm like, what do I have to complain about? Like, it's given me what I'm looking for. Like, so I'm very excited to see what's left in the game. But like, I'm fun just on the road trip right now, and I really, really like that they're embracing that. And I am very excited to see what they do with the next one after this.
It's cool. It feels like something that 13 wanted to be, right? Like more character focused, more like very specifically highlighting these vignettes between these characters, but the gameplay wasn't there, and like nothing connected everything together.
Yeah.
Right. This is like that missing organic tissue that just gets everything together, while also like actually having characters that are subtle in how genuine they are versus like trying to be in your face about it.
And I mean, I think that's the problem with like the cutscenes to a degree, is it's like it actually isn't as organic as it is when they're just talking to each other.
Like when they're just hanging out. Like that's the thing. Like there is no in JRPGs there is like this tendency to like, and Persona is a victim of it. It does it better. Like Persona is the other game that I think is genuine in a way that few JRPGs are. But, like, it's, like, always trying to front load all of this backstory about a character to you so that you can care about them.
Yeah.
Whereas this game never introduces its characters to you. They're just there, and, like, you're like, okay, I guess we're a gang, and then as things go on, you're like, oh, well, you know, Gladio said this thing, and like, then he said this thing, and then Ignis said this thing, and it's like, this all builds up over time. Like, it feels like you're spending time with these people, and it makes them feel more like people instead of like characters.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very excited to play the rest of it. It's been awesome so far.
I'm glad you're liking it.
Number one.
No surprise.
Yeah, no, of course not. It's Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
Which was the only thing that never remotely wasn't questioned. It was just like, well, duh.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about this game a lot.
It's a spoiler cast.
So I don't think I need to like hash over everything like necessarily again. But I did start playing it again not too long ago.
Yeah, me too. Just to remind myself.
I was like, I wanted to play a game, but I didn't want to get into anything too like in depth because I knew 15 was coming up. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go back because I never got the platinum. And I'm like, I'm gonna go back and try and do that. And I didn't have enough time to do it before I got 15, so I'm in the process right now. But like at the time we did the spoiler cast, 2 was my favorite, like and arguably the best one. Like, and I think at the time I was like, if someone wanted to make the case for 4 being better, I'm not going to argue against them. Like now it's like so hard to tell different. Like I mean, 2 is still my favorite, but I mean like 4 gets better every time I play it.
Yeah, 4 is undoubtedly my favorite at this point.
It's so strong, and like just things that like bothered me at first, I don't care about anymore, like at all. Like I just enjoy, and it's similar to 2. Is I just enjoy every moment.
Yeah.
Of that game, it's like savoring. Everything.
I was gonna say it's savory in a way that like video games aren't. Like I don't know, when you went back to it, because I did the same thing. Like 15 was on its way out, and I'm like, I want to play something, but I don't want to play anything else. So I started playing Uncharted 4 again. I only got to chapter 10, which is like the big Jeep scene.
But, yeah, I'm like 2 behind you.
Yeah, just like, and then part of it was like I wanted to refresh myself, and like with the first thing you see in that game, like Drake's face.
Yeah.
And I was like, this game looks so good.
Yeah,
like, oh my god.
So good.
It was immediate, like, oh my, games never looked this good before. Yep. Or again. So, yeah, it was...
and again, I mean, that's another thing I need to say, like, I feel like at this game, but like, you know, as a serious Uncharted fan, like...
The biggest I know, I would say.
Yeah, I think I'm the biggest anyway.
Outside of, like, Greg Miller, you are the biggest Uncharted fan I think there is.
I probably beat him too.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, like Uncharted is really it's again like in 4 kind of like really cemented how important it was to me. Like we're like that's one of my things. Like for so long it was like, you know, like movies, Star Wars, like video games.
You're
like,
wearing Drake's ring around your neck.
Yeah,
right
I am. Like Bruce Springsteen, like. Those are my things, and like now Uncharted is up there with it.
It's one of those things.
Like, cause like for a long time, like video games were like something that it was like, I don't own merchandise from video games, like, cause it just was never a thing. But like I seek out Uncharted stuff, and like I will buy things that are Uncharted. Like one, they matter to me, but 2, it's like I want to support the people who made this. Like, so I don't mind throwing money at them, like, cause I know it's supporting like them making more stuff that I love. So yeah, I mean. It's just like that game was really, really special.
Yeah.
And a way that for me was very hard to accomplish. Like, you know, I love those games, like, and I've loved those games for a long time.
It's difficult to like tote the line of being like nuanced and poignant in a franchise that has already told so many stories.
Yeah.
And without like feeling hokey or like you feel like you're phoning it in a way. It's like, in order for that game to have a happy ending, like it felt like an impossibility.
Yep.
Right? It felt impossible. But they earned it.
So
and like earning that in like the 16 hours that you play through that game is maybe the greatest accomplishment Naughty Dog as a studio.
But I would even argue it's not the 16 hours. It's all of the games. Like it paid off everything from all the other games. Like that ending is such a perfect culmination of that entire series.
Yeah.
Like, which is why it's like, I don't need more Nathan Drake ever again.
Yeah.
They could. They could very easily do Indiana Jones of like, here's an early adventure, like...
A golden abyss.
But you don't want to see that. Yeah. Like, you don't. Like...
Yeah, but they could do that and I could not play that and be fine.
Right. But like, let it alone. Like, it's so...
That's why like the DLC is like 2 completely different characters. Well, like, you know, Chloe and Nadine and stuff like that. It's good. Like, you can do stuff like that. That's fine.
I will say I was initially disappointed with that announcement.
Why? Because you were hoping for the Sam Sully story?
Yeah. I was hoping for a Drake Sully story, personally.
Okay.
Because again, build Uncharted 4 story DLC. So I'm thinking it's going to tie into 4 in some way.
It might.
So I was expecting, like, Cassie, Drake and Sam, or Sam and Sully.
Yeah.
Like,
Sam and Sully was the one I feel like
that was the one most people were expecting, and I get why most people were expecting it. I thought it would have been cool to do like here's what Drake and Sam were like a little like that's like the one context thing I wouldn't mind having, just like because we've seen so much of Sully and Drake like before Elena and all this other stuff.
They essentially got all of Uncharted 3.
Yeah, and Golden Abyss like too. We see them pre the 1, 2, and 3, but then when they were like, well, this is like a standalone game, and we're gonna release it on a disc. And I was like, okay, now I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't actually like Nadine that much.
I think she's cool.
I think she's cool in the story, but like, I don't know. It kind of felt a little bit to me like a character that didn't have that much going for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Boba Fett.
Yeah,
like it kind of felt Boba Fett to me.
She's the reason that you have
like this character.
She's the reason you have men to kill in that game.
Yeah. And I like, and it's, Max Landis actually did a video on this, but like, and I kind of agreed with him where it's like they fell into a bit of a narrative trap with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm co-opting him, but like her being like be able to walk away and all that stuff kind of felt like we don't want to make her the bad guy. Which I don't like that in stories. Like, it's the same thing with potential spoilers for Kingdom Hearts that they're doing with Axel.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, no, he was a bad guy. I understand that you think his character design is cool. But, like, let it, like, embrace what they are. Like, so, like, there's a little bit of that going on with Nadine. However, now that I have more context for, like, this is a standalone story... Like, we're doing a Chloe story. It makes sense that Nadine could tie. Like, now that I know more...
I like the idea, as I feel like Nadine might end up being a bad guy in that game.
We'll see.
So, like...
We'll see.
Chloe's...
She's had run-ins with them before.
Yeah.
We know with Sully that, like, they've had run-ins like that before.
Chloe is very much the protagonist of that game.
Yeah. And Chloe is, of all the characters that they've introduced... Because we don't know enough about Charlie. Like, we care about Chloe. Charlie... I would love if he showed up in this.
I bet he would.
But, like, Chloe's the one we care about. Yeah. She's the one that makes sense to do a story like this because she's still in the game. Everyone else, like, is kind of out of it at this point. Yeah. Like, Sam and Sully are probably still doing something, but, like, Chloe is very much like Drake, like, at its prime in the game kind of thing. Like, so I'm interested to see what they're going to do with her story at this point. And like having it pitched as like, no, like it's more of a standalone, like we're not trying to tie it into 4 necessarily. This isn't like Left Behind or anything like that. Was like, okay, like that's fine. Like I did want one last like it was like that, am I gonna get one more time? Like am I gonna get something else like to hold on to? But
I like the series. Yeah,
like,
I like.
Ending is so
I always wanted that DLC to be a Chloe story. So like, for me, it was like cool. I'm down. Like,
and I Chloe's not my favorite character because I love Elena. Like, and so Chloe was always the other woman to me.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
And like, still, I like Chloe, like I do, but like, there's still a bit of like, I'm trying to break up Elena though.
Yeah. And like, for you, that payoff.
But yeah, I don't know that game. I can't say enough good things about that game.
It is.
It is Naughty Dog. I think that is their best game. I do think it's better than Last of Us. Like I would even say hands down better than The Last of Us, honestly. Because I really think again that marriage of the gameplay and the storytelling is so good. It's them doing their thing.
I liked when because we did the spoiler cast, and you played on hard, and you followed up with me when you played on normal, and you just you got the experience that I got of like running through scenes and just destroyed everything.
Yeah, but the action moments I was looking for a little bit more. And I don't know. I do I really do think that's their best game.
I mean, I still think The Last of Us is overall better, but as
you
far
know what
as
the problem with The Last of Us is?
Here we go.
And I love The Last of Us, but you know what? I played through it again.
Mm-hmm. I played through it again this year,
and it didn't click.
Didn't hold up for you?
No, it's not that it hold up. It's just the moments that shocked me the first time. Mm-hmm. Knowing that they were coming, it was like, oh, this isn't as impactful. Like I feel like for me. I feel like I kind of ruined it a little bit for myself, like by playing through it again. Maybe I played it too soon after, or something. I don't know, but I did feel like I was like, oh.
I mean, like for me,
I'm not trying to say it's a bad game or anything like that. No. I still love that game, but it was just like, that's interesting. That it didn't, the moments didn't hit the way that I was expecting them to. Because I've done that with other games, or even shows or movies and stuff where they still hit, and just for some reason it didn't hit as much that time. So
because I played it. I wanted to play it after I beat Uncharted 4, and I played on Survival, which I hadn't done in a while. I played through it in the summer.
Yeah.
I think that most recent playthrough was why I liked it even more after that.
Yeah.
So I'm on the polar opposite of that with this one, but Last of Us is
And I mean, like, Uncharted's my thing. Like, I
Uncharted is very much.
I played through Uncharted 4, and then played through 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 again. In a month.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. Like, I literally, like, as soon as I beat 4, jumped into the other ones and just ran through them all again.
And that's I it's funny because, like, with me with Uncharted, like, I liked 1, 2, and 3. I even, like, loved 2, but, like, when I didn't know I loved it as much as I did until I played Uncharted 4. So, like, I wasn't as in the weeds while it was happening until after the fact. So and that's a big part of it. Last of Us is different for me. So that's very much my game. So
but I'm hoping, you know, moving forward, like, we'll see what Naughty Dog does next, but, like, I hope someone picks up the torch to a degree. I don't want to see this type of game go away because I love these pulpy, like, action adventure, like, tropey type stories. Like, these are, like, some of my favorite things. That's why I love Indiana Jones. Like, these are my favorite types of stories. Even stuff like DuckTales or, like, Tintin, which is, like, the same type of stories but just for a younger audience. Like, I want to see that continue, and I don't think Tomb Raider really does it. Tomb Raider does its own thing, which is great. Like, but I hope that, like, someone else is going to keep doing these types of stories in games, because Uncharted was the only guy in town doing it, and doing it as well as they did. But yeah, God, what a great game!
It's a really good game. Masterfully made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Best in the biz. Those guys. No, I'm with you. That's a good list.
Yeah.
So 2017.
Uncharted, The Lost Legacy is probably one I'm most excited for because that is coming out.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Last of Us 2 whenever the heck
it's
come out.
We can talk about that in a moment. Because you are also one of my Last of Us people that I needed to kind of revisit that with. But what about Zelda? Where are you at with Zelda?
Oh, I'm probably buying a Switch.
Yeah.
Like,
you're making the Switch.
I think so. Like, I mean, I have a Wii U. Like, Zelda is my second favorite series, I guess, but I love Zelda, like, just about as much as I love Uncharted. So I'm unbelievably excited for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, me too.
That's the Zelda game I've been wanting for a long, long, long time. Based on everything I've seen, it seems they're gonna completely, again, like, it's speaking to me.
Yeah. The
way 15 was and the way Uncharted 4 did, like, it's hitting the notes I want to see in a Zelda game. And then I'll talk about the Switch in general. I'm really excited for that. Like, they nailed it with that announcement. Like, I'm still waiting to see if the other shoe's going to drop and we're going to get, like, some bad news to go with it. But, like,
I mean, there's bad. I'm sure, like, the worst news would probably be either price or battery life.
Yeah, but, like, the rumors going around with it, like, sound pretty good. So, like, you know, we'll see where it is. But, like, I mean, Mario game, like, Zelda, Mario Kart 8. I want Mario Kart 8.
Yeah,
like,
just do it again.
I want Smash Brothers.
Although there were, like, some double item mechanics, so, like, there might be some double dash stuff in there.
I mean, a change, like, it's fine, but, like it's Smash Brothers and Mario Kart 8 are perfect in terms of the gameplay. Like, you can't. How are you going to make them any better than they are?
Yeah.
Like, take the system and add what you need to add to it, but, like, add to it. You don't, like...
Just add ice climbers and we're fine.
Right. Like, seriously, you can finally do ice climbers. Like,
Yeah.
And, like, I'm sure they'll add other characters. Bring over the 3DS stages. Like, I'll be good. Give me stuff to play on it, like, and I'll be happy with it. And, like, gotta be a Metro game. Like, we haven't heard from Retro in a while, so I'm sure there's a Metro game coming out. Like, but Zelda alone... The simple idea of playing on my TV and then picking it up and having a full Zelda game in my hands.
Yeah.
It's like enough where I'm like, if I got the money, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
So I am
March, man.
super
By the week that this episode goes out will be the big unveil.
Oh, yeah. We'll finally know what we're getting, what we're into and everything. So
I'm excited. Like, they did really nail the messaging on it.
Yeah.
Like, it was a subtle... Like, very much in the Final Fantasy 15 way of, like, it show didn't tell.
Yeah.
Subtle. It was succinct.
Yeah.
And they didn't need to say anymore. Because they left you with questions of, like, you know, specific stuff that they can't.
Right. Things that we care about.
Yeah, in a fun way. In a fun way, you can't announce battery life. Right?
No.
Like, but they made it fun. They made the unveil fun. They made it they got the point across.
Yeah.
Everyone gets it. And that's cool. That's the first time Nintendo's done that. Like, even with the Wii, they, like, flubbed it. They flubbed how they marketed that. The way that worked was people brought it and showed it to their families.
Right.
And then it worked. But, like...
Which, again, this can do.
Yeah, this could totally do.
You have that ability. This is what it does.
Yeah.
Like,
just... That's
there
it.
you go.
And
like,
it's...
Makes sense.
It's like the Wii U, obviously, this is, like, so the opposite of the Wii U.
Because the Wii U is bad.
Yeah.
As someone that owns a Wii U...
No, I'm with you. Like,
bought it on launch.
I think it is a bad platform.
Yeah.
Good
games.
Great games.
But
it's just...
Terrible console.
It missed everything.
Yep.
The marketing, the name, the feel.
Felt like a toy.
Ease of use. It's just like... Everything about it's bad. And this is like so... Like, as far as like understanding it, is so on the opposite.
And I also feel like there's very little room for Nintendo to fail on the promise of what this is, because all it is a hybrid console. Mm-hmm. Like, the Wii never delivered. The closest we got was Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
And I actually like Skyward Sword. I am not a hater on that game, but we never got that lightsaber
I would say
game.
I am probably a hater on that game, but I like it.
Like, we never got the lightsaber game. Like, the Wii never delivered exactly what we were hoping. Mm-hmm. Like, it delivered. And then the Wii U never came close. The best justification I ever saw for the Wii U was it made switching items easier in Zelda.
I mean, like, Mario Maker, I think, is the game that game. But not for you, right?
No, I bought Mario Maker and I get it, but like, I don't know if that it uses it smartly. Mm-hmm. But again, it's like Zelda. Like, that's a smart use of that tablet. Mm-hmm. But like, do you need the tablet?
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah. Like, because the game part of it, you're playing the game like normal. Like, that game could have existed without the tablet. It exists on 3DS.
I played both Zelda games on that console with a Pro Controller. So
I did play. I actually did play with the tablet. I will admit, it was fun being able to switch really quickly and have the map there. It did make, like, especially Wind Waker.
Yeah, Wind Waker. I played it on and off with it. So,
it made it a lot easier. But yeah, so that was a terrible console. I'm very excited for Switch. Mm-hmm. Horizon, which is coming out soon.
Yeah, you're on the Horizon train.
Can't wait for that game. Like,
I'm gonna get you to play Persona 5.
Well, now I can because it's not coming out.
It's not coming out right next to Horizon. Yeah.
So, like,
April, man.
Like, that's enough time for me to, like,
good month.
Dig deep into Horizon and then see what happens with Persona 5. I mean, I did play Golden. I didn't play through Golden.
You should finish it.
I'm never going to finish that game. And not because I don't like it. I had a really, really good time with it. Like, I was really, really digging what was going on. But yeah, I don't have the time to invest into it. Mm-hmm. But that was a cool game too. That it did embrace we are in school.
Yeah,
like
it embraced what it is.
Like, I wish 15 embraced like a little more on the, like, no, like, we're diving into what this is a little bit more. But yeah, I can't wait for Horizon. I mean, we're not getting Last of Us 2 next year, so I'm not
no, yeah. So tell me, Last of Us Part 2.
All right, can I tell you what I'm hoping for?
Okay, that's fine. I just want to kind of know your temperature on it.
I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, because you love The Last of Us, right?
I do. Yeah, I do. Despite what I said earlier, I do. I love that game.
I feel like we've had a lot of good conversations about that.
Yeah, I think that game's brilliant. Yeah, I do think that game is unbelievably brilliant. The storytelling is...
So, like, when... again, like, I was there, right?
Yeah.
I was in that room. Going in that room, did not expect that.
No, it was huge.
I was emotional. I was in a different place when that happened.
It was awesome. I watched it live. Like, I was excited when I saw it happening.
It like the three reveals of, like, first that it was The Last of Us, then that it was Ellie, and then that it was Joel.
Yeah,
was like
they hit. And like, people were like, oh, why is it got to be them again? And like, I think they justified the entire thing with 2 words: Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2, exactly.
Just calling it Part 2.
I knew that, like, Part 2 was, like, exactly like, oh, Brendan's really going to like this.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense. It's a continuation.
This is a second half to a story.
Right.
Versus, like, a sequel, which is a different thing.
Like The Godfather, Part 2.
Yeah.
Like, so that said everything you needed to know about what this was and everything.
Did you end up watching the panel where they talked about it?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I read, like, the transcript, or, like, I read an overview.
Yeah, like, this was written just before Left Behind was done.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this existed, you know?
Yeah.
And it makes me feel better about it. And like, they really, because I watched that panel.
I mean, after 4, after Uncharted 4,
You're like,
I have
whatever.
no doubt. I don't have any doubt in them anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
It's hard to
that was a hard job for those two guys to do.
yeah.
To have to take
pick up that legacy.
like that, and like, yeah, they had experience with it, but it wasn't theirs, like
Mhm.
the way The Last of Us is necessarily. So like, I have no doubt that they're gonna
Yeah.
do right by any characters that they work with, like ever. Like,
Yeah.
and they're always going to treat them
And like
with respect.
them like just doubling down on like, hey, we get it. Like
Yeah.
we know the ending was good.
Yeah.
Like, and we know that picking up where we left off there is the hardest thing we'll have to do. But like give us a shot. Like
Yeah.
that's what Neil said at the panel. Is like, just let us take a crack at it.
I mean, I thought the trailer was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Trailers
I'm
incredible.
like,
Yeah.
because it wasn't just like, hey, we're making Last of Us 2, and I'm purely on a Last of Us fan being like, yay, like
Yeah.
the trailer was good.
Yeah.
Like they earned like me being excited for this, and I am hoping
Here's your theory. Let's go.
Joel
Mhm.
is the villain.
I think like he becomes the villain.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Like, so like I pitched this as that scene we saw to one of my buddies, that's actually late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's almost this meeting of like, it's like the final piece. Like, is this going down? Like, is this like it's that final reach out kind of thing, between the two of them. And like, so it's her saying like, yeah, I'm coming for him. Like, I'm coming for your guys, and I'm gonna kill I want to kill every last one of them. Like that could be, I'm gonna kill everything that you've built, like for yourself, like everything you're like that you hold now. I'm taking them all away from you, because she's not gonna kill Joel. Like she wants to make him suffer. I have no context for this. I just think that would be
that no one has brought that.
I think that would
interpretation to
be
me, so
it will, because like
people are all bringing the like Joel is dead and Ellie's imagining him.
I would not be interested in that.
Absolutely.
I don't need Arkham.
They
Knight.
would
No Arkham Knight this.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. Like,
No, that would not be cool.
It's too disingenuous to the player while you're playing it to do that.
Yeah,
and that's just not Naughty Dog's
I also
style.
didn't like that, and spoilers for Bioshock Infinite, but in Burial at Sea, I was not a big, and I like
Oh,
Burial
I
at
haven't,
Sea.
I haven't even played Burial at Sea.
super.
So.
That's not like legitimately a spoiler, but like that when you play as Elizabeth, like there's a booker talking to you.
Yeah.
So like, oh, okay. Spoilers for Bioshock Infinite, the original. The booker, like, from that game, who is like, that's not spoiling anything in Burial at Sea, but the booker from Infinite, is talking to her at parts of the game.
Okay.
And I didn't like that.
Oh,
very
okay.
much.
That's weird.
I get it.
In context,
because
I'd probably like that.
I get it. Like, it wasn't bad, but like, I don't like the disembodied voice necessarily.
It's like
without a really good explanation, which I thought Arkham Knight had a strong enough explanation.
Arkham Knight earned it, I think.
Yeah.
But like the thing that like if you look at The Last of Us, right, the first game is like there's nothing. They never try and lie to the player.
Yeah.
There's no twist in that game.
Yeah.
And that's not what that game's about,
No.
right? And they would never do a game where it's like they are actively lying to the player about something that they're seeing.
Yeah.
That's just like I feel like Naughty Dog is above that.
I agree. I would be shocked if that was the case.
They don't have to do that.
And I think like it's more likely that like Ellie is on her own crusade and maybe Joel's trying to pull her back. The entire reason for this like is you're left in a place where like I felt that they were left in a place where Ellie knew Joel lied to her.
Yeah.
And that was how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
And that is not a good basis for a relationship.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, so like her being 19 now, like it's not like a, decade, but time has passed.
Yeah.
I would expect there to be some kind of resentment or bitterness built up.
Yeah.
So I can see them growing farther apart.
Them growing apart is, I think, what that game is about.
And Joel is capable of terrible things.
Yeah.
Like, Joel is not necessarily... I would not say Joel's a good guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't
he's a
say
protagonist.
I wouldn't say he's a villain.
I wouldn't... I didn't agree with the people that say he's a villain.
Me too.
In one. However, he is not a good person.
Yeah, he can be an anti-hero, I think. Like,
so I can see the potential there. I think it would be interesting. I don't really think they're going to do that, but I think it would be cool. And it would be a interesting way to take the series. And it would be I think a fun deviation.
the best part is like no matter what they do, like even if what they ultimately decide on is like one of the theories that we're doing, like in the moment when you're playing it, like you won't be able to tell that.
Yeah, and I honestly
that's
think
what
that,
I learned playing Uncharted 4 was like, I could have predicted maybe like that would have a happy ending, but like
not that way.
Not that way, and like the way that they like as you're playing through that game, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Like because that game engages you so much, it challenges you so much.
And I expect Last of Us to be nothing that anyone has guessed.
Oh yeah,
or I'm sure someone out there has guessed it, but
but it won't matter.
Yeah.
So,
so I'm real excited for that. Probably about it that I can think of next year. Whenever Final Fantasy VII comes out,
remake, you and me are on it. Let's go.
Well, after 15, I'm like, yeah, this is what I want 7 to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want that. If you want a remake of 7 that plays like 7,
I want it to be fresh.
go play the PS4 version.
Yeah,
it's real good, and it holds up.
Yeah, me too. I think so too. Yeah,
definitely holds up. Especially like the few tweaks they made of like you can speed things up and everything. Like
it goes literally all the way.
You can absolutely play that game now, like no problem. Story's still really good. Like all the beats hit and everything.
I think so too.
I want something else.
Yeah.
Like give me a.
I'm down for something new. Yeah,
and it looks like Kingdom Hearts more than 15.
Yeah. And I like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is much like Chrono Trigger. I think a battle system that is brilliant and that other people should have stolen a long time ago.
I don't know why I didn't.
And I even think like they haven't perfected it yet within the series necessarily.
Yeah. 2 is close though.
I think Birth by Sleep is actually the closest they got. I mean, I know it's different because of the
command list,
but like in terms of like just feeling really good, like Birth by Sleep is my favorite combat in the series. So I'm hoping that what worked in 2...
They've learned so much from 3, though. Or from everything between.
What worked in 2 and what worked in Birth by Sleep will hopefully come together.
If the 0.8 is any indication of that, like everyone that's played it says like this is the best. This is the best it's ever
I'm
felt.
super... I know that's... I don't know. That must be coming out soon, though.
That's January.
No, I mean 3.
Oh, 3, yeah. That's not too far.
The 15's done, and they're biting the bullet now on 2.8 and the collection.
Yeah.
So, like...
They're getting everything out of the way.
There's nothing left at this point. So, like, that game is, I think, near.
Yeah, they could have held the collection until later, but they're putting it out in March.
Right.
Like, they're getting it out of the way.
Now, is it going to be fall? That'd be awesome.
No, I think it's 2018. But
I don't think it is.
I think it's confident.
I think it's spring 2018. Yeah. That's my... Oh, Mass Effect. I completely forgot. I'm super excited.
I was gonna bring that up at some point.
Super excited for him. Actually, I'm a little worried about drama.
Yeah, I think everyone should.
It. I'm excited for more Mass Effect. I am not excited about what I've seen of Andromeda at all.
Yeah, I'm curious.
But I love Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
I love that world.
It looks like it might be a little bit too much Inquisition for me personally, but.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I like 2 and 3 more than 1. I don't need any of the other things.
Yeah.
I thought 1 cut the fat out in a smart way. I still think 3 is the best one, and I think 3 only gets crap because the ending wasn't what people expected, but the rest of the game is so much better than 2. Like, in terms of, like, the payoff to the different stories.
Yeah, I mean, I like 2's build-up. I like 2 as my...
2 is a great game.
Yeah.
3 plays way better.
Really?
I think 3 plays way better, and you get the payoff on all those stories. And I didn't care about the ending.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I did. Like, it was fun, but like...
No, the payoffs in 3 are incredible.
It's the journey.
Yeah.
The journey is what matters.
Like the Morden payoff, the
scene with Garrus, just like hanging out with him and stuff like that. Like that's
the moments in 3 don't get enough credit.
No, they don't. I feel like so much in that game gets overridden by the ending, and I understand why people were upset about it, but I mean, it doesn't ruin the whole experience for me.
I'm excited for there to be a fresh Mass Effect.
So I mean, it could be 15 had a lot of like I don't know about this, and I love 15, so Andromeda could be a similar thing.
There's so much left in 15, man. Like I don't want to make you worried.
No,
but like I'm just like that could change on a dime. I feel like with you in a lot of ways.
I would be shocked.
No, like the things you like about 15 don't go away.
Yeah. I would be shocked if I end up like
you have problems with it that I'm gonna be fascinated because I think you'll have a really great perspective on those issues.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure that like I have problems with it like already that I'm sure will like continue on, but like I just don't care.
Yeah,
like
the thrust of that game.
It's giving me what I need. Like right now, and
feed me.
Like,
yes, I got
it's so I can't see it going any farther, but we
got to end this video.
I
at
guess
some
that's
point.
about it. Like I can't think of anything else that's coming out. That I'm excited for.
You're on the Twitters.
Yep.
B_dubs10, right?
That's correct.
Is it 10 or 20?
No, it's 10.
Okay.
Oh, I don't go any higher than 10.
Never higher
I
than
can't
10.
count higher than 10.
And we have fun every time we talk about
do.
stuff. This one is like the Brennan Williams 2-hour Game of the Year top 10 is always what I look forward to. So go follow Brendan. There's gonna be more Game of the Year top 10s this whole week. I've sat down with a bunch of people already, and we'll continue to sit down with more people in Irrational Passions Game of the Year content and a Switch announcements whenever this goes up. So keep it locked here for more of that for the Irrational Passions, either the videos or the audio versions, like either the RSS feed or YouTube, whichever you prefer. And as always, it's been my pleasure to serve you.